In this video, I'm going to show you 5 steps on how to write a cold email. Your cold email should be an email sequence, just like your nurturing or your follow-up sequence. It should look something like this here. Email 1 should be your initial email where you identify the problem and you create a solution. So that email should be about that. Email 2 should be your demonstration email. You should be able to show them how the product or services solve their problem. Email 3 should be more along the lines of FAQs and social proofing. So any questions and stuff that you think that they may have, be able to answer those particular questions, and also show them that other people's doing it. Show your casework. That's what email 3 should be about. And email 4 should be the last chance, limited time offer type of email. You get them, let them know that, okay, this is the last time I'm gonna give you this opportunity. All right. So before we go any further, one of the reasons why you may be having a low open rate because you're not using a professional email address. When you use a professional email address versus using free accounts like Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, so based off of how you send your emails out, they kind of rate you. They give you a score, a reputation score, and it's attached to your IP address. So every time you're sending out emails or whatnot, based on your score, it lets people know if your email is going to spam or is it going to the inbox. So you want to make sure that you're sending out proper emails and getting bigger response rates when you're sending out your emails. So in 2017, the DMARC policy, they call themselves being a little bit stricter on the policies since last year, 2024. They say it looks unprofessional by having a Gmail, Yahoo account as a business email address. So what they're doing is stopping you from basically sending receiving emails from those particular people. And if you have that type of email, it's going to be hard and you're not going to get a lot of people to open up and see your emails when you're sending them out. So this is the reason why you need a professional email address. All right, so let's go ahead and move to step number 2. Step number 2 is the subject line. The subject line, I usually do this last, but however, you may have a low open rate because you have a poor subject line. Here's a trick that I do, and it should help increase your opening rate if you put their name inside of the email. Make it personalized. And when I add their name in it, I tell them that I want to book an appointment so they can open it up and see. I have seen this trick here increase up to anywhere between 20 to 30%. Step 3, the opening line. I usually start out with my pitch and basically where I introduce myself, and then I tell you what I do in one sentence. They say you aren't supposed to do that anymore. That's a thing in the past, but it still works for me, so I still use it. So for example, I use, hi, my name is Tyrone Montgomery, and I help businesses build brand awareness and increase their sales. But you can do the hamburger effect. And the hamburger effect is basically you say something good, then you say something bad, then you say something good. For example, I love the type of content that you're putting out on social media. However, your website is not generating that much traffic. But good news, my company can fix that for you and increase your traffic to your website. Step 4. Now, this here, I call this the offer, which is the body of the email. And I discovered there's 2 different ways of either doing it. 1, doing a referral method, or either 2, doing the collaboration method. Now I want to show you my screen so you can see the difference between the 2 emails. One as the referral and the other one as a collaboration. We're going to use this email here as if it was the one with me using my pitch as the opening line, and we're going to make that one the referral email. So as the referral email, do you know anyone who may need a website or need the website updated? If so, send them this link so they can book a one-on-one consultation. I'm discounting it at 30%. Friday is the last day, and prices are going back to $1,500. If this sounds like something you may be interested in, I'd love to jump on a quick call or video chat to discuss more details. All right, so now I want to do the collaboration. And in this email, I noticed an opportunity where we could both benefit collaborating. Right now, I see, and then you put in what the weakness or the pain point is, and my company can fix that for you. In exchange, you give me a review stating my service, how my services help your company. And if this sounds like something you may be interested in, I'd love to jump into a quick call or video chat to discuss more details. All right, so step 5, you want to incorporate the call to action. So in this call to action, I'm gonna say with the referral. All right, so we're gonna put the call to action. Let's lock in the time to see how we can make this here work. Click below to schedule appointment. And you also, for the ones with the collaboration, you can kind of use the same call to action on there. Um, and then what you want to do is add a button to it. You can either add a button or you can add a link for your booking, and that's it. So usually when I do this here in my subject line, I like to put in their name and say I want to book an appointment. Now you personalize the email, you personalize the subject line. Now makes a person wants to read it. All right, so here's a side note. This is when your potential client is gonna do the research on you. They're gonna be clicking on all your links to your website, to your social media pages. This is what they call the first impression. So as this being your first impression, you want to make sure that your back end, everything on the back end is set up correctly. This here is how they make their decision if they're going to work with you or not. The key factor to this is you want to make sure that you have everything on the back end before you start sending out emails to generate leads. But here's another little hack. Send your emails out in small increments. Let's just say maybe around about 50 at a time. If you have a large list that you're sending out, because if you make a small mistake, you can recover and fix it, stop the campaign, recover it, fix what needs to be fixed, and then continue with the rest of them. Because when you lose a customer, they're gone. So, and another thing is it helps you with your analytics. Your analytics increase the numbers a whole lot better with smaller increments of emails going out. So here's how you should read your analytics. When you're doing the open rate, you should have an open rate between 20 to 25%. And this also, when you're reading the stats, it lets you know that if your open rate is lower than that, it's because of your subject line. Now, your click-through rates. Your click-through rates is when they click on the on your call to action button. It should be anywhere between 2 to 5%. And if your stats are lower than that, then that's because your content is not where it's supposed to be at. And your conversion rate should be between 2 to 5% as well. And that determines how strong your offer is. So before I send you off to start creating your email campaign, I want to show you that this strategy here works. As you can see the rates, you can see the recipients, which is this column here is all the outgoing emails. This here is all the open rates. And as you see, the open rates are within the standards. Majority of them are 26, 25, 26. It's above average. I said 20 to 25. So as you see, these numbers are good. Then you have the click rates, which is the people doing. And I said the click rates also supposed to be between 2 to 5. So as you see with these numbers here, they work doing the strategy of whatnot, doing this here. But here's one thing, I don't know if you can see it, pay attention or caught it. As you can see, based on the outgoing emails, your conversion rate is only a few clicks. So I encourage you to collect more emails. When it comes to emails, cold emailing is about 1 to 5% of sales. So that's why I encourage you to constantly keep adding on to this list, because if anything ever happens to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube or something, you have your own database and you have an audience that you can control. So you always want to constantly keep adding on to your emailing list. Even though when you're doing emails may be a low percent when you're doing the initial email, it's all about your follow-up. When you're doing follow-ups, as you can see, 80% of a prospect say no 4 times before they say yes. So as you're doing your emails and you're doing your follow-ups, I suggest that you do anywhere between 5 to 7 emails as a follow-up sequence. And you should be able to, out of the people who's interested inside of your emails, you should be able to get at least 80% out of that. So that'll increase your sales later on down the line. Also, if you need help with the follow-up or nurturing sequences, be sure to click on the link below to book a one-on-one appointment with me.